So this is a program for accessing 3 students roll number, name and mark, and write that 3 rows into a CSV file. The name of CSV file is student.csv. So first you want to import. So import CSV. After that, open the file. The file object, it is fh. Then create a writer object, that is toWriter equal to csv.writer fh. After that, you want to write the heading of each column. That is, the first column heading, it is roll number. Second column heading, it is name. Third one, it is mark. So you want to write, if you want to write the column heading, use the writer object. Here the writer object name, it is toWriter. Here S is capital. Okay. So toWriter dot write row within bracket, give the column value as a list. So write row is a function. So start with round bracket. Write row is a function to write a single row. So write row is a function. So the function will begin with round bracket. So start with round bracket. Within that round bracket, use a list. Within that list, I am using the column headings. The first column heading, it is RNO. Second column heading, it is name. Third column heading, it is mark. Then for accessing 3 students value, I am using a for loop for I in range 3. That means the value of here, range 3 means it is 0, okay. Range of 3 means it is 0, 1, 2. So if I is 0 means you can input first student's roll number, first student's name, first student's mark. Then after accessing the values of first row, that is based on first student, you can assign that values to student. So if the roll number is 1, it is assigned to student, name is assigned to student, and mark is also assigned to student. Then the student is used for writing. That is, the student content is written to the CSV file using the statement toWriter dot write row. Here only one R. It's a mistake. Okay. So toWriter dot write row within brackets student means the first student details is inside this student variable. So that data are written to CSV file. Okay. After that, next iteration means I value is 1. So second student's roll number, name and mark is inputted. And after that, that values are linked just like a list. And it is stored in student. Then write row student means second student's details are written to the CSV file. After that, the I value is 2. So the third student's details are inputted and that data are stored in student and that data are written to CSV file. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. So here we are dealing with CSV file. Okay, CSV file means a file that includes a row, that rows are separated using comma. CSV means comma separated values. Okay, so all the values are separated using comma. So for using this CSV file, first you want to write the statement import CSV. Means first you want to import CSV module from Python library. For that, I'm using the statement import CSV. Then after that, you want to open this CSV file is just like a text file. Okay, the only difference is that in CSV file, the data are separated or fields are separated using comma. That is the first difference. Second difference, the extension of CSV file it is .csv. Okay, the first difference, the data are separated using comma in CSV file. And the second difference, the extension it is .csv. Based on text file, the extension it is .txt. But here I'm using CSV file, so the extension it is .csv. Then after that, I want to write the content into the CSV file. For writing the content, we are using the function write row. Write row is the function used for writing something in the CSV file. But before using this write row, first you want to create a writer object using the statement csv.writer. That is, for using this write row, you want to create a writer object. For that purpose, we are using this toWriter equal to csv.writerfh. Just like here, we are creating one file object fh, no? Just like that, here we are creating a writer objects toWriter using the statement csv.writerfh. Okay, this is not a statement for writing. It is a statement used for creating one writer object. That means after creating this writer object only, we can use this write row function. Okay, otherwise we can't use this write row. So for using this write row function, we are using this toWriter equal to csv.writerfh. Is it clear? Okay, then after that, you want to write something in the CSV file. So toWriter.writer row. Write row means we can write a single row in the CSV file. So first I want to write a heading, column headings. So toWriter.write row, within function bracket, I am using a list for writing the column headings. The first column heading it is RNO, second it is name, third it is mark. So RNO, name, mark. The first row is inputted. So the first row will display like this. Roll number, comma, name, comma, mark. Okay. These are the column headings, but in the case of CSV file, all the data are separated. That is, fields are separated using comma. So the content, when we are storing this content into a CSV file, the content will display like this. That is RNO, comma, name, comma, mark. Okay. Then the next statement it is, first I want to input the details of roll number, name, and mark of first student. I want to write 3 students' details in CSV file. So first I want to input the details of first student. For that I am using this for I in range 3. Range 3 means 0, 1, 2. So the first value of I it is 0. That means first student's roll number is inputted. It is stored in roll number. Enter name means name is inputted. It is stored in name. Then mark is inputted, it is stored in mark. After that, storec equal to, that is roll number, name, mark. That is, I am assigning these values as a list. And the name of that list, it is storec. So I combine this roll number, name, and mark together and form a list. And the name of that list, it is storec. Okay. Then I want to write this content into CSV file, which is the statement that is write row. So toWriter.write row storec. So the first data, first row, it is inputted. That is, if it is 1, ABC, 90, it is display like this. Then when I am inputting the second row, the data is 2, D, 95. Then third row, 3, FG, 98. Just like that. Okay. After inputting each row, you want to write the content into the file, CSV file. For that, I'm using stowriter dot write row within bracket stowrec.
Ma'am,
Yes, Achut?
this portion is like somewhat related to MySQL.
No.
No, ma'am, like we have to mention the heading at the first, and then we have to give the input rate, just like this using commas and all.
It is not connected with MySQL.
No, ma'am, there are some similarities, right?
Okay, okay. From that MySQL, we need for project we need connection, MySQL connection, SQL connection with this Python programming. That topic is included for your project. Okay. When you talk about this MySQL, I just remind that. Okay. So this is the program to input 3 students' details in a CSV file. So anyone any doubt related with the CSV file? Is it clear, Gauri?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next one it is another program. Just write this program, that is import CSV. First you want to input the content. Without using a for loop, I am using the data of 2 students details with heading, name, point and rank. Okay. For that I am using a nested list. Manual completed.
Ma'am,
What, Gauri?
ma'am, after Sturek, it's a continuation.
Yes, yes. It is a continuation. It is a nested list. That is, within a list, we are using 3 lists. That is nested list. So the first list, it represents the column headings. Second list represents the first student's details. Third list represents the second student's details. The first it is the column headings, name, point, and rank are the column headings. Then next it is first student's details. Then next it is second student details. Then here C writer is the writer object. So for writing, I'm using here the statement, it is not write row, it is write rows. One difference is that here I'm using write row. Write row means we can write at a time only one record. Using write row, we can write only one record at a time. That is write row. If I'm using write rows, we can write all the rows at a time. Okay, that is the difference. Here I'm using write rows. In Sturek, we are using 3 rows. So the same using the single write row statement, we can write all these contents together. For that, I am using the function write rows. So based on writer object, there are mainly 2 functions, write row and write rows. Write row is used to write a single row at a time, and write rows are used to write rows is a function used to write entire rows. That is, if there is 3 row, we can write that 3 row at a time using write rows. Srihari, will you please explain this program?
First, we import CSV.
Hmm.
Then we open the file new.
Why we are using that import CSV?
For editing the CSV files.
Then
we open new.csv file and write more. Then C writer equal to CSV.writer.
What is the meaning of that statement?
I don't know.
Here, Aditya, what is the meaning of that statement? That is C writer equal to CSV dot writer.
Ma'am, writer object.
Here C writer is the writer object. Okay, Srihari, you want to notice that line. The C writer is the writer object. So in this statement, I want to create the writer object. For creating the writer object, I'm using this statement. So C writer is the writer object, which is equal to CSV dot writer FH. So in your MCQ question, you here there is one fill in the blanks question. That is, here you want to fill. You can't write this. This one. No. Here after the statement, one fill in the blanks is there, and question is just like that. You want to create a writer object. Create a writer object. This is the question. So you want to create a writer object based on the file just opened just before. Okay, so here you want to notice that which is the file object. So here C writer equal to, here instead of C writer you can give any variable name. There is no, it is not compulsory to use this C writer here. It is a variable name, so you can use any valid variable name here. So C writer equal to CSV dot writer. You want to know the file object related with this file. Okay, here I am using the file object FH. So after writer you want to use that FH here. Okay, then after that, Emmanuel, explain the next statement.
Sturek will form a Python sequence.
Python list. Here, Sturek is a list with 3 row values. Okay, first row value, it is the column headings. Second row value is Ali 4545. Then third row value is Adi 560034. After that, Dia.
Writer dot C writers Sturek that helps store Sturek in the CSV.
That is the contents of Sturek. That is 3 rows are written to the CSV file using write rows. Here I am using write rows. Write rows means 3 rows are 3 rows are together written to the CSV file. After that, close the file. Is it clear, children? Is it clear? Anyone, any doubt related with this CSV file reading, not reading, writing? No. So next topic it is reading. Reading in CSV file. So for reading, you want to create reader object. Okay, for writing, you want to create writer object. For reading, you want to create reader object. At the time of creating a reader object, it automatically read all the contents and stored that data in reader, C reader object. cReader equal to csv.reader fh. Reader is the function used to read all the contents from the CSV file. So using this reader fh, it will read, it will create a reader object. At the same time, it will read all the contents from the CSV file, and it is stored in cReader. So these 3 rows are stored in cReader. So for printing each and every row, if you want to print row by row, use a for loop. So for rec in cReader means first record is stored in rec, then it is printed. After the next first iteration, second row, that is the content it is Ali 4545 is stored in rec and it is printed. Then third iteration, the last row is readed is stored in rec, and print rec means last row is also printed. So after writing, you want to read the contents from the CSV file. For that, I'm using cReader equal to, here I'm using with, you can use fh equal to the same statement you can use. What is the, why we are not using a close statement here, Achut?
I don't know, ma'am.
Anyone? In each and every file handling program, we are using one open statement and also we are using one close statement. Here I am not using a close statement. Why? Why? Just try, Gauri.
Ma'am, with this used.
Yes, with statement. When we are opening a file using with statement, there is no need of close function. Okay. If we are opening a file using with statement, then there is no need of close function. Okay, based on MCQ, these points are very important. Okay. So with when we are opening a file using with statement, then there is no need of close function. And if you are opening with the same, that is a normal statement like fh equal to open, then we need a close statement. Okay, but here I'm using with statement for opening the file. So here we there is no need of close statement, and here it is for reading. So the mode it is R. Okay. Open the file using R mode, that is reader mode. So after that, for reading the statement, I'm using the reader object, that is cReader. When we use this cReader equal to csv.reader, it will read all the contents from that new.csv and it is stored in cReader. Then if you want to print the contents row by row, you want to use a for loop, for rec in cReader. That is, at the first iteration time, the first row is copied to rec and it is printed. After the second row is copied to rec, then it is printed. Last, the third row is copied to rec and printed. Okay. That is reading. Only one statement is there for reading, no other statement for reading. So the first line for reading it is import CSV. The first line is importing a CSV module. The second line is opening a file in reading, that is data.csv or emp.csv or book.csv, any CSV file in reading mode. And F is the file object or file handling, that is F. In the case of in our program, the name it is FH. Okay, in our program, our name it is FH. So you can give any file object name, any name for file object. Then this line, third line, the third line is returning a csv.reader object that can be used to iterate over CSV file contents. Then using a for loop, we are returning all the records one by one. So this is one program. This print statement is after some indentation. Okay. If you want to print the data just like this, you want to use the same program. We just discussed the same program. This print
Ma'am,
statement
can you
is
show the previous
yes,
slide?
yes. Okay. So this is the end of chapter. Term 1 portions are over. So we can start our revision from Wednesday onwards. So Wednesday, you just study the programs that are related with this data handling. Okay. So I will give some program. So we can write that program as a lab question also. Okay. As we can serve that program as practical record. Okay. The previous period, I gave one program, one lab program. Those who are absent, just check with your friends. Okay. So using write row. This is a program based on write row. So based on writer is the function. Under this writer, we are using two functions, that is write row and write rows. We already discussed this one. I just give one or two examples based on this write row and write rows. Okay. So here write row is for single row writing. Write rows are used for multiple row writing. You just write this program. In this program, import CSV. After that, f is equal to open. Using open function, I am just opening this data.csv in write mode. After that, I am creating a writer object. The writer object name, it is WR. WR is equal to csv.writer. Then after our writer object created, we can use write row using writer object, that is WR dot write row. First row is written, that is name class. So it is display like this, name comma class. After that, WR dot write row, Amit comma plus 2. So second row it is Amit comma plus 2. After that, f dot close. I think that for loop is the first lab program. Isn't it, Dia? This one. This is the first lab program, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So for your lab program, first you want to copy the running the program. If there is no error, if the output is correct, then first you copy that content into a Word document in one page, and in a new page write a heading, output, and copy the output also. Okay. Completed?
Ma'am,
Yes, Gauri.
ma'am is the codes for name and class.
Here single quotes is for because it's a string. No, that's why. Here also +2 and others are string values. So we are representing within quotes. Here we want to check here single quote is there or not. We want to check. I have a doubt about this one. Name it was okay. Second row you want to check. I think it is Amit comma +2 without single quotes. You just run that program in the system and you find the error, if there is any error or not. Okay. This is the program based on right rows. And I'm using right row. There is no single quotes. Okay. You just check it. Right row is used here, and also right rows are used here. Two functions are used. First, right row is used for writing the heading, and right rows are used for writing all the three students' details. Just go through the program. First is the field, that is column heading. Then rows, it is a nested list. Within that list, first student details, second student detail, third student's details. After that, I just open the file. Here, I'm using a new line as that is space as delimiter. There is no need of using that one. You just close here. Then create the writer object. After that, using right row, I'll just write the column heading, that is fields. Right row fields means the content of fields, it is name, class, subject. So name, class, subject are written to the CSV file. After that, right rows, within bracket rows. Rows is the variable used for storing three students' details. So these three students' details are written to CSV file using right rows. After that one, in the case of close, empty bracket is there. Okay. Aditya present, Achut present, Alvin. Alvin. Alvin absent. Okay, Alvin absent. Ashwin absent. Abdul. Abdul absent. Diya, Gauri, Manuel. Krishna absent. Muhammad Adim absent. Shivani absent. Srihari present. Okay. So you just go through the programs related with data file handling, and we can clear the doubts in the next class. Okay. Is it completed?
Yes, ma'am.